Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Francesco and I'd like to welcome you at this digital edition of Biofach 2021 directly from Trentino. It's actually the third year here at Biofach and we are really pleased to present you our region, our wonderful mountain region, and of course our wide range of organic products. We have this year 9 partner companies joining us at Biofach and we will just let you discover the extreme diversity we have in the region. I'm here with Davide Zambelli, a cook, a chef, an influencer, really passionate about local cuisine, traditional cuisine, and he will accompany us in a sort of sensory and discovery trip across our valleys, across our products. But let me introduce Trentino first. Maybe somebody of you has already been here. Trentino is a province in the northern part of Italy. We are in the heart of the Italian Alps. And what makes us special and different is really the extreme diversity, of climates, of soils, of landscapes we have in the area, which results in an extreme richness of products. We range from the olive oil on the Lake Garda up, to apple, wine, and of course, best cheeses at the feet of the Dolomites. And of course, in organic quality. Organic farming is increasing, in importance in terms of area cultivated, in terms of number of firms involved in the production chain. And what makes, our organic sector very vital is innovation. We have product and process innovation, and we will see during our show cooking, during our fine food class, how fine and how good our organic products are. So I will give the pool to you, Davide.
Yes,
just tell us,
it's not a problem.
What do you have in mind for today's menu?
3 dishes. We prepare an appetizer, local appetizer. We prepare a risotto with leek, with the speck ham and some grana padano cheese. And at the end, a special cannellini. Dessert with a ricotta cheese, with apple, special cannellini, spicy with cinnamon.
Okay, so you have in mind a mountain menu with some innovation.
Of
course, we will use the local products we have in the region. By the way, if you want to contact the partner companies, you can use the chat or you can use the other tools offered by Biofach eSPECIAL to arrange an appointment with our partner companies. So I would say we can dive into the menu and start with the first recipe. So what do you have in mind for this appetizer?
I want to prepare the grissini in Italian, but we can say it bread stick, crunchy bread stick with olive, okay? With olive pate and olive oil, and also a powder of olive. So we start with the water, warm water.
First?
Yes, and some fresh yeast.
Okay.
And the sugar.
You have to activate the yeast.
Yes,
okay,
the yeast,
right?
yes. Thank you, Franz, because my English is
no
not
problem,
so good.
No problem. Just supporting you, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are like olive-based grissini. So you have like a grissini, a breadstick with olive in it.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
We have the powder, the olive oil, 3 spoons of special native olive oil. And now I add the flour.
Okay, just mixing by hand.
Yeah, I love to mix with
No
my
problem.
hand.
Okay.
And the powder of olive, special powder. Maybe this is a teaspoon, 6
right.
teaspoon. Now I mix some flour with the water. I add the salt.
So, Davide, you are using olive-based products for these breadsticks, but we may ask ourselves, well, what about olives in the mountains? Trentino produces an olive oil, which is a mountain olive oil, because thanks to the Lake Garda, we have a Mediterranean climate in the heart of the mountains, and we have a special olive oil, which is the Lake Garda Trentino olive oil. Which is the special ingredient of these grissini. But we have this year at Biofach not only olive oil but other olive-based products. from a producer, Olio Crew, which is one of the most innovative oil producers across Europe. They run a brand new mill where the oil is extracted by pitting, separating, the pulp from the stone. And from the pulp, after the pressing and the extraction of the olive oil, we have the use and the production of a product, which is a special product, a pure powder, Yuvon pure powder, which is part, of a circular economy concept. Because, the company, Olio Crew, turns what is, a side product of the olive extraction into a new resource. It is in fact a powder which we are using as an ingredient, but you can use it as a food supplement or, for instance, on your yogurt in the morning, which is very rich in prebiotic compounds, antioxidants, fibers, vitamins. So it's really a superfood which has been already used also in the production and in the invention. This is, product innovation, of course, by Olio Crew, in a line of crunchy sticks that can be used, for instance, for breakfast, on soups, on salads. So what about our grissini?
The dough is ready, Franz, and after I let rise the dough for 1 hour.
Okay.
And the result is this.
So you have a rice dough. Okay, right. Look at the color. It's really a beautiful color, isn't it?
Yes,
this comes from the powder.
The pieces of the powder. I take now the pâté.
Pâté, which is extracted from the pulp of the olive.
Yeah. And I spread it
on the dough.
On the dough.
Okay, right.
Like a pizza, no?
Okay, like a pizza.
I divide the dough in this mode.
Okay.
Così.
Like into strips.
Yeah.
How does it work?
And now I make the grissini.
Okay, so show us how you do it.
Okay, ritorti because I
so it's like a strip.
Yeah.
Okay.
See it. I roll in this mode, and after this is the grissini. This
okay,
stick.
right.
Okay.
And then you put them
in the pan,
right. Mm-hmm.
and I cook this grissini, this breadstick, for 20 minutes at 180 degrees.
Okay, so while you are preparing the breadsticks, I would, prepare the board, which is part of our aperitivo. In our tradition, the board is composed of a cheese and of a cold cut. We will have a fresh cheese for our appetizer, an Asiago PDO cheese by Casearia Montetrentini, a cheese producer in the region which is specialized in traditional cheeses and in particular in PDO cheeses. They collect mountain milk from more than 150 farmers spread around the valleys, and they process it by hand into very intense and aromatic products. This cheese here in reality is a young cheese, 20 days of ripening, fresh, creamy. It's the perfect cheese for a welcome appetizer. And besides, we will have a pancetta, which is a cold cut of our tradition. The pancetta is the pork belly. This pancetta here is by Beaumet, which is I would say a butchery. It was born actually as a butchery in the 1960s, and it has become a very well-structured company producing traditional cold cuts with, according to traditional recipes. This is a smoked and spiced pancetta. It's very aromatic. We will cut it in thin slices because it has to melt in the mouth. So it will be really very pleasant, when we will taste it.
The board, Franz.
Wow, this is our welcome
The result.
board from the mountains. So we have a mountain cheese, PDO cheese, Asiago by Casearia Montetrentini. We have a pancetta, smoked pancetta by Beaumet, and your grissini prepared with the products of Olio Crew. Yeah. So I would say it's the time to toast to this wonderful appetizer. We have a wine from the region. Poyer Sandre is the producer. The wine is called Zero Infinite, and this is part, of a concept. Zero Infinite means zero chemistry along the production chain from, the field to the cellar no chemistry, no treatments, no fertilizers, no additives. And the result is a very natural, sparkling, juicy wine. So I'd say it's the perfect wine for our welcome appetizer. So I will open it. Ole. You see, it's a sparkling wine. This is produced according to the ancestral method. That means that the wine makes a second fermentation in the bottle. In fact, you see there is a natural sediment moving, so you can drink it either clear or turbid. So here your wine.
Thank you, Franz.
So we toast to Biofach
Cheers.
2021 from Trentino. Cheers.
Yeah. So good.
It's very juicy, refreshing with a stimulating acidity. I'd say it was a good beginning of our mountain menu. What do you have in mind actually for our next dish?
We prepared the risotto with leek, speck ham, and grana padano cheese.
So Davide, we are ready for our main course. Our field trip or discovery trip through Trentino goes on. We will now discover new products and new companies through a new recipe. So Davide, what are you doing actually?
Okay, Franz, I want to fry the leek with extra virgin olive oil.
It's an olive oil of the Trentino Garda Lake by
Yeah.
Agraria di Riva. Agraria is a cooperative of small producers who, harvest their olives still by hand. And they produce actually a very special olive oil, which is called 46 Parallel. That reminds us of the fact that you are really in extreme conditions for the olive. And this is a very delicate olive oil with a unique aroma, and which is the perfect ingredient in the Mediterranean cuisine, of course, on any dish of our tradition as well. And I think this is perfect for our recipe as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and with this extra virgin olive oil, you have an aromatic risotto, more aromatic.
Okay, right. So it's the perfect ingredient for this mountain recipe.
Yeah. Now I add the rice. I want to use the Vialone Nano quality.
Okay.
And I toast the rice to have an better aroma. I add the salt.
So the rice is toasted now?
It's time to add the wine.
Oh, so
the
you're
Pinot
adding the
Noir
wine. Okay, right.
1 glass. Okay.
Well, a bit more than 1 glass. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So this is a special wine by Agraria, because Agraria is not only an oil mill, but it's also a winery. They produce an area of organic wines, across the territory of the northern Garda Lake. They produce a Chardonnay, a Merlot in organic quality, and this Pinot Noir here, which is a very intense wine. It's produced actually in a vine garden which is surrounded by an oak forest. This is the reason why it's called Maso Elisi. And I think this will, enrich our recipe with a decisive and very strong flavor. Is that right? Okay.
Okay. I add the broth
Okay.
to
right.
continue the cooking.
So I can smell, the perfume of your dish already.
Yeah.
So
Is,
you're cooking it in a broth.
Yeah, with vegetal broth. Okay. While the risotto is cooking,
Okay, perfect.
I want to fry the speck, to
Okay.
dry the speck.
Okay, right. To make it crispy.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
perfect.
like a powder, a crispy powder speck.
Speck powder.
Speck powder.
Okay.
Thank you,
okay.
teacher Franz. Okay.
So you're frying now the speck. This is a speck by Baumet. Baumet, as I was saying, is a company specialized in the production of cold cuts. Speck is part of our tradition, of our local cuisine, and every company which produces speck has a secret recipe, and this secret recipe is made of, the salting, the cutting of the meat, the smoking, the spicing, and even Baumet has a secret recipe to make a speck which is really special and unique. Well, I see the speck is getting really crunchy, crispy.
Yeah. I cut the speck in pieces, and now I put it in the mixer. Okay. Okay.
So it's ready.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh wow! Yes,
Okay.
it's
The smell is
the smell is
so
good.
tasty.
Let's try.
Okay.
Mm.
And this is this powder. When I put the risotto on the plate, I add this powder.
So it will give the final kick to our risotto.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I grate the grana padano.
Okay. So the Grana Padano you are using is produced by Casearia Montetrentini. You know, Grana Padano is the king of Italian cheeses, but this Grana Padano is made out of mountain milk because Casearia is collecting the milk, you know, from small barns, from family farms around the valleys of the region. The ripening, is a long ripening. The Grana Padano has to ripen at least 9 months. This one has a 12-month of ripening, but it can last the ripening even longer, up to 24 months. And during the ripening, the cheese gets, of course, intensity, gets an array of very interesting flavors. This is a raw milk cheese, so it's really very connected to the environment of origin. How is the grating going, Davide? How much do you need for your risotto?
About 80 grams to have a tasty risotto, no?
Okay, right. So you are grating the Grana Padano, but the Grana Padano can be used also as a cheese, just consumed as it is.
How do
you can
want?
cut it with a special knife. This is a drop. This is the shape of the knife, and just cut it, in flakes. So you will see that when you cut the Grana Padano, you can just take a piece, just seeing also the structure of the Grana Padano and consume it just as it is. Perfect. Also
It's so
for
nice.
an appetizer, but why not at the end, for instance, of a meal?
I switch off and now I add the butter.
Okay, so we are almost ready.
30 grams of butter. I mix it and the Grana Padano.
On top.
Yeah.
Just a
And if you
waterfall
want,
of
for
Grana
me it's
Padano.
perfect, some pepper. Okay.
Wow. This is not easy. I've never done it, but
Would you like to try,
no,
Franz?
it's okay.
If you want, hey,
I
try.
trust you. I trust you. Wow. Okay, so it's ready for the
Yeah.
dish.
Yeah. Some risotto, some creamy risotto. And now we add the speck powder.
On it. Wow.
This is the dish, Franz.
Propome. Do you have to add more Grana Padano on top of it, or is it?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
not a lot.
No, but
'Cause
the
it-
color, yeah,
Right.
it's almost the Italian flag. Wonderful dish, Davide.
Hey guys, a risotto with leek, speck ham, and Grana Padano cheese.
Mountain risotto.
Mountain risotto.
We will pair it with a wine, of course. It's the main course of our menu. And we will take a red wine. I would say the same wine you have used
For me,
in the
it's
recipe.
perfect.
Is that okay?
Pinot Noir.
Perfect. So we have the Pinot Noir by Agraria di Riva. It's a very fruity, intense, full-bodied wine.
Mm.
So we have some red fruit, we have some cherries, some blueberries, some vanilla as well.
Vanilla.
Okay, yeah, it's a
Interesting.
spicy wine. So this is our wonderful Pinot Noir.
Thank you.
So I'd say, Davide, it's time for our dessert because we have new products and new companies to discover. So our discovery trip through Trentino ends in the fruit orchards. You know that Trentino is well renowned for the quality of its apples, and the core ingredient indeed of our last recipe will be the apple. Is that right, Davide?
Yes, Franz, we prepare an apple dessert.
Okay.
Canadianly with ricotta cheese, a mousse, an apple mousse, and some apple, some grappa, and other ingredients, other spices, okay? So, for me, the perfect step is prepare the dumplings, the cannellini.
Okay, so the base of the dumpling.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I start with the eggs.
Okay. So you are preparing a savory dumpling. Normally we are used to the, well, actually sweet dumpling,
Sweet
not
dumplings,
a savory. Okay,
sweet cannellini. Some butter, soft
Okay.
butter, and a pinch of salt. The vanilla, and some
Lemon.
Some lemon, yeah.
Okay, right.
Okay, the vanilla, I want to use half part, not total.
Ah, you're putting just the seeds inside. Okay, right.
And I add the sugar, 2 tablespoons,
Of sugar.
yeah. And I mix it. Okay, now I add a spoon of lemon juice
Okay, right.
and the ricotta cheese.
Perfect. Which is a local ricotta cheese
Yeah.
from Trentino,
Yeah,
isn't it? Okay,
Absolutely.
right.
Fresh ricotta. Okay. The perfume is, if you want to,
Let me try. Oh, very aromatic.
Mhm.
Yes, lemon and vanilla.
I add
ricotta.
2 spoons of flour. Okay, stop. And the bread. But this bread is particular bread. Is the bread for tart, soft bread.
Okay, the sandwich
Yeah.
bread. Okay, right. The dumpling in our tradition is actually, a reuse recipe. So we reuse, ingredients
In
that
this
remain.
case, this
the
recipe
kitchen.
is refined. And now the dough can riposare, come si dice?
I can rest a bit.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So I prepare the apple.
Okay, right.
Okay, the fresh apple,
So I see you've chosen the golden.
golden apple. Yeah.
What about the apple? This is a Melinda apple. Melinda is actually, I call it a big family because it's a big cooperative of 16 smaller cooperatives. So we have 4,000 farmers working in the cooperative and delivering their apples to Melinda. Melinda is, I would say, the leading producer of fresh apples in the region. And it has, a peculiarity. They store these apples in an underground warehouse. It is a sort of natural refrigerator in the heart of the mountain, which has been created in old Dolomite mines. And it's a way, to keep the apples fresh and crispy in a natural way, in an eco-friendly way without using energy. So they produce the golden, which is the variety that Davide is using.
Mhm.
They produce the Gala, the Fuji, and the Renetta. So 4 varieties in organic quality.
Okay, so I cook the apple in the pan with some sugar, maybe 1 tablespoon per apple,
Okay.
so 3 tablespoons. Okay, I have the grappa, the Trentino grappa,
The perfume is excellent.
some raisins, okay, raisins, and some cinnamon, because with apple, perfect.
So this is like the elements of the strudel,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay, right.
Of course. Okay, the apple are ready, and I make the dumplings, the cannellini.
Okay, so while we're waiting for you and for the dumplings,
Mhm.
I will crunch some apple chips by Adikini. They are really very crispy and crunchy. Have you ever tried them?
Yeah, so good.
They're really
But now
perfect.
I can't.
Yeah, you have busy hands.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, Edichini is a company, an innovative company located in the heart of Trentino, which is specialized in the production of apple snacks. In particular, they produce apple mousse in 12 different variations. They produce apple bars and these crispy chips I've tried just right now. And the point with Edichini is they have just few ingredients. They have very genuine and healthy products that are suitable for everybody at any time, and they just respect the raw material. So the production process respects the aromatic and organoleptic characteristics of the apple. So I see the dumplings are almost ready. Okay.
And we prepare the plate.
The final creation.
Final creation.
Okay, right.
So the cream, the mousse of apple,
Yes,
and pear in this case.
It's apple and pear. So it's a very natural product, isn't it? It's just pears and apples, no preservatives, no any other ingredients added.
The apple is a addition of apple, this. And at the end, Franz, I want to complete with some caramelized
Nuts.
walnuts
Okay, right.
to have a crunchy part. For me, the plate
Is ready.
is ready.
Perfect. Marvelous.
If you want,
So do I have to bring it in front?
yeah.
Here is our dessert. So apple dumplings with cinnamon and caramelized walnuts. Is that
Perfect.
right?
Yeah.
Good
perfect.
definition? Okay. This is a wonderful ending for our discovery trip.
For me,
But
yeah.
I'd say we need something to drink as well.
of course.
Of course. So I'd say we can try as a pairing an apple cider by Lucia Mariama Chiari. Lucia Mariama Chiari is a company which is specialized in the squeezing of all apples, of high quality crispy apples, into an array of products that come from the apples. So we have, for instance, apple juices, we have apple vinegar, apple balsamico. We have a range of vinegars that are ready to drink and belong to a wellness line. We have apple cider in many variations, and also a line of craft beers. I'd say we can try this Alpino cider, which is a mix of 6 different apples. So there is, you know, a concept behind this cider.
Beautiful bouquet.
It's a sparkling drink, of course, with 7% alcohol. So it's a very refreshing drink. I would say for an appetizer, but also very good
A
for
dessert.
a dessert. So I think it's the perfect combination for our dumplings. This is
nice.
very fruity, yes, very refreshing. But we have also an alternative. You were saying, let's try a nectar. We have in the region a nectar and fruit processor, which is very well structured for producing, an array of interesting product. Trento Frutta. Trento Frutta is the best business partner if it comes to, fresh and frozen fruit and vegetable processing. They can develop for you a tailor-made concept, from the choice of the raw material to the processing. Up, of course, to the packaging. So they have, glass and pouches and an array of solutions as far as the packaging is concerned. Well, we have here, I have 2 options. Do you prefer apricot or blueberry?
Apricot.
Apricot, okay, right. So this line of juices comes, with a very personalized packaging. And you see how beautiful the color is. So you have the yellow one. I will have the dark one, which is very rich in antioxidants. So I will keep beautiful and younger than you are. Look, wonderful. Okay, so let's toast with this alternative, which is not alcoholic,
It's
but
not a
anyway
problem.
very pleasant
I love
to
also
our
the juice.
Biofach 2021.
Oh,
Cheers.
yeah. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like to thank you for joining us today in this wonderful trip across Trentino, across our wide range of organic products. I'd like to thank you, Davide, for helping us, for accompanying us in this trip.
It has been a pleasure.
So, thank you indeed, and thank you for joining us. We are looking forward to get in touch with you, so you can contact us using the chat, using the other tools offered by Biofach eSpecial. You can arrange an appointment with the companies that are present this year at Biofach. And well, thank you again, and enjoy our region and our wonderful organic products.